Hello, Justin here, and welcome to the video. I just got Lincoln Brewster's new CD, and I'm really excited because there are tons of new things that you can learn from the album. In particular, the first single, Reaching For You, is a good example of pentatonic scale application. When I tried to learn it, I tried to search for, the way Lincoln Brewster would teach it. So I tried to search Lincoln Brewster videos and to see how he would teach the song. And when he was teaching that solo, and you all know this, right? You all know there's one very, very cool pattern that he plays, and I just played it for you just now. There's a very he just calls it a rapidly descending pattern and just leaves it at that. Doesn't elaborate how he phrases it. So here's my attempt at explaining how to play this rapidly descending part. First up, this is what I use to slow down my solos. I use VLC Media Player. You can download it for free. It's an awesome program. Under the playback options, as you can see, there is a sub-menu that allows you to slow down, it allows you to change the speed of the playback of the file, and in our case we want to slow the tempo down to a point where it's comfortable to count the number of notes that Lincoln is playing in the solo. So let's go right ahead and just start to decrease the speed, or in our case the tempo, and as you can see, I bring it all the way down to 33%, and this will sound really metallic and sound as if it just came out of a Tron movie, but please bear with me. Now what you're looking out for in a solo is you're not looking for the exact note for note representation of what the person is playing. You're going to be looking out for the groupings of notes that he plays, because every guitarist has a preference as to how many numbers of notes they want to put together in a phrase. How do we go about to count their phrasing? Well, think of it this way. You have, the time signature is 4/4, so that means you have 4 quarter notes, or 8 eighth notes, or 16 16th notes. And since the solo is in 16th notes, we're going to be counting how does he fill up that, how does he add up the notes to number 16. Okay, so let's try to count all the way to 16. And okay, here's a little trick. You're not going to be able to count all the way to 16 without messing up from 10 to 16. So I'm going to be counting in groups of 8, so that will be a lot easier to keep track of what's going on. So here we go. Go, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Well, that automatically showed you a few things. Number one, the first two phrases don't seem to occur on the downbeats of your phrases of 8, so that should tell you that that the phrase is not actually phrased in simple integers of 2, 4s, or 8s. Secondly, there was a rest before the phrase started. Well, I'm gonna show you the solution now, but you should do this in your own time and try to work your way around it, because it's gonna help you in being able to listen out for the phrasing and sequencing that a guitarist will use. So here we go. 1 and 2 and rest. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. That, my friend, was odd group phrasing, and odd group phrasing occurs when you have odd numbers of 7s, 5s, and 3s that occur over primarily a 4/4 sequence. So this was really cool, because this is something that Eric Johnson does as well. He will group odd numbers of notes together, and he will sequence them over a 4/4, and the resultant is that your accent will change from the downbeat to the offbeat, from the offbeat to the downbeat, every time you alternate between two odd groupings, and you will see this later as I switch back to handicap mode. Let's try and see how that 7 and that 5 note phrase sounds like individually, and we will see how we can put them together, because that is the tricky part about this solo. So the 7 sounds like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and the 5s sound like this: 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are several tricks to this, and I'm going to show them to you. What you want to work on is to be able to connect the 7 and the 5 together, and that is going to be quite tricky because you're going to need to employ some economic picking, and you're going to have to, and that's okay. That's challenge number 1. So let's try connecting the 7 and the 5 phrase together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you notice that I use an upstroke to connect with a downstroke of the next phrase. So I'll do that in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So you want to work on getting that upstroke and to connect to the downstroke of the next phrase. This is pretty important because when you start doing the 5s and 5s, it's going to be the same problem with another challenge. So let me play that sequence down to the next set of 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you would have noticed immediately that I used my fingers to sort of bar and to roll. This is really crucial. So for those of us who've learned shred, you know that rolling is the way to connect the notes that are next to each other on adjacent strings. So this happens on the set of 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last set of 5 is different again because you're not only rolling on your ring finger, you're also rolling on your index finger. I'll show that to you. So that's the last set of 5 you gotta do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So connecting the whole sequence together, 7, 5, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope you found this video helpful in figuring out that particular sequence of notes, and this is particularly helpful if you want to sound a bit more interesting than your average guitar player. Having odd group phrasings over a 4/4 progression will really help you stand out because it just sounds like there's a whole big mess of notes happening, but it's really just a mind trick actually. So thank you for watching. This is Justin signing off.